Everyone warned them that a 90-pound Doberman and a newborn was a disaster waiting to happen, but that was not the thing that scared them the most. The thing that scared them was that their sweet, gentle Doberman, a dog who loved every single person he ever met, suddenly refused to let one man come anywhere near their baby. He growled at a stranger everyone else thought was perfectly harmless. He put 90 pounds of muscle between that man and the stroller every time he appeared. 27 people told this young couple that their dog was becoming dangerous and needed to be gone before he hurt somebody. And then, on an ordinary afternoon at a public park, they found out exactly why he had been doing it, and their reason left every single one of those 27 people speechless. This is the story of how a dog the whole world called dangerous became the only reason a little boy is safe today. Aaron and Scott Delgado lived in a quiet neighborhood in Sarasota, Florida, with their 11-month-old son Liam and their Doberman, Knox. Knox was 90 pounds of sleek black and tan muscle with cropped ears and a stare that made delivery drivers stay in their trucks. To a stranger, he looked like exactly the kind of dog the warnings were about. Knox had come into their lives 2 years before Liam was born, and when Erin got pregnant, everyone had something to say. Her sister begged her to rehome him. A neighbor sent her an article about Dobermans and infants. Her own mother said flatly that she would never leave a baby in a house with a dog that size. By the time Liam was born, 27 different people had told Aaron and Scott they were making a terrible mistake. But here is what none of them understood about Knox. From the very first day Aaron carried Liam through the front door, that enormous, intimidating dog appointed himself the baby's shadow. He did not jump, he did not bark. He walked up to the bassinet, sniffed the tiny bundle with unbelievable care, and lay down beside it. And from that moment on, he almost never left Liam's side. As Liam grew, the bond deepened. Knox let the baby grab his ears and pull his jowls without a flinch. He lay flat so Liam could use his rib cage as a pillow. When Liam cried, Knox would find Aaron and nudge her toward the nursery over and over until she followed. I see you are still here but have not subscribed yet. After what this dog is about to do for this little boy, you are going to want to be part of it. Tap subscribe. It means more than you know. Knox was 5 years old, and in the 500 days since Liam was born, he had rarely been more than 5 feet from him. At 7 a.m., he was at the crib. By 8, he was under the high chair. At 1 p.m., he lay across the nursery doorway like a 90-pound draft stopper. Aaron could not get 15 seconds into the next room before 90 pounds of Doberman came looking for the baby. The people who feared him had never watched him spend 12 hours a day as the most patient babysitter in Sarasota. Here is the part that made Knox so confusing to everyone. He was not an aggressive dog. He was the opposite. Knox loved people. He wagged his whole body at the mail carrier. He let the neighbors' kids climb all over him. At the park, he greeted every stranger like a long-lost friend, which is exactly why what happened next made no sense to anyone. It started on a Tuesday in September at the little neighborhood park where Aaron took Liam most mornings. A man Aaron had never seen before wandered over while she was pushing Liam on the baby swings. He seemed friendly enough, maybe 40, smiling, saying, "What a beautiful baby, how old is he?" And Knox, the dog who loved everyone, went rigid. A low growl rolled out of his chest and he stepped directly between the man and the stroller, and he would not move. Erin was mortified. She apologized, pulled Knox back, and left quickly. She had never seen him do that to anyone. She told herself it was a fluke. But 3 days later, the same man was at the park again, and the moment he started walking toward Liam, Knox planted himself in front of the stroller, hackles up, that same deep growl vibrating through him. The man raised his hands and backed off, and Aaron hurried home, embarrassed and a little rattled. By the end of September, the man had come to that park 5 times, and 5 times Knox shut him down. The 9:15 visits Aaron had loved for 8 months turned tense. Twice, she saw a gray sedan parked 30 feet down her own street with a man inside, and both times, Knox growled at the window for 20 minutes. She told herself she was imagining the connection. She was not. When she told Scott, he frowned. When she told her sister, the response was immediate. "That dog is turning aggressive. Get rid of him before he bites someone and you get sued." Over the next 2 weeks, the man showed up 2 more times, and every single time, Knox did the same thing. He refused to let that man within 10 feet of Liam. He was gentle with every other soul on the planet, but for this one man, he became an immovable 90-pound wall. The neighbors talked. The 27 people who had warned them felt vindicated. Even Scott started to waver, wondering out loud if maybe Knox really was becoming unpredictable, if maybe they could not risk a dog like that around a baby. Erin defended him, but at night she lay awake wondering if she was being naive, if she was putting her son in danger by trusting a dog everyone said had turned. The trainer they called had 20 years of experience and a 3-week wait. Scott counted it out one night, 5 incidents in 4 weeks, and said maybe a 90-pound dog they could not predict was too much risk with a 1-year-old in the house. Erin lay awake until almost 4 a.m., torn between everyone she trusted and the dog she could not stop believing in. They made an appointment with the trainer. They were seriously discussing whether Knox could stay, and Knox, for his part, just kept watching that man and kept his body between him and Liam every single time. What none of them understood was that Knox was not the danger. Knox was the only one in that park who could see the danger. They found out on a Thursday afternoon, and it is the reason Erin says she will never doubt that dog again as long as she lives. It was 4:50 in the afternoon, the park was busy, and Liam was asleep in his stroller. Erin turned away for maybe 20 seconds, just long enough to dig the sunscreen out of the diaper bag on the bench. The same Doberman the whole neighborhood had called dangerous, the same Doberman 27 people had begged them to get rid of, the same 90-pound dog everyone had sworn was one bad day away from hurting somebody, was the only reason Erin turned back around in time, because in those 20 seconds, the man had crossed the park fast, reached the stroller and put his hands on it, already lifting the harness buckle, and Knox came off the ground like a missile. 90 pounds of Doberman hit the space between the man and Liam, a roar tearing out of him that Erin heard from the bench, and the man stumbled backward and fell. Knox stood over the stroller, teeth bared, and he did not bite, he did not chase, he simply made it impossible for the man to take one more step toward the baby. The man scrambled to his feet and ran. Several other parents had seen the whole thing. Someone had already called the police, and what the police found when they ran the man's description stopped Erin's heart. He was not a stranger admiring a baby. He was a man with a history, wanted in 2 counties, connected to more than one attempted abduction of a small child. The detective told Erin things that made her legs give out. The man was 43, and he was named in at least 3 separate reports of a stranger approaching young children at parks over the last 18 months. He had been photographed at Liam's park on 4 different days, and every one of those 4 days, a 90-pound Doberman had stood between him and the stroller while the adults apologized for the dog. He had been seen at that park for weeks. He had, investigators believed, been watching Liam specifically. Every time he had come close, a 90-pound Doberman had driven him off, and every one of those times, the adults around him had been embarrassed by the dog instead of alarmed by the man. Knox had been sounding the alarm for a month. He had known from the very first morning exactly what that man was, when not a single human being could see it. The man was arrested 6 days later, 2 towns over, trying the same thing at a park 15 miles away. The trainer appointment was canceled. Erin's sister, who had said get rid of him before he bites someone, came over and sat on the floor and wept with her arms around Knox's neck. The neighbor, who had sent the article about Dobermans and infants, now crosses the street to say hello to him, and the 27 people who swore that dog was a danger to Liam have gone completely, permanently silent. Because here is the truth every one of them missed. A dog is not dangerous because he's big, or because he's a Doberman, or because he has a face that makes strangers nervous. Sometimes the growl everyone wants you to punish is the only warning you are ever going to get. Knox was never turning on anyone. Knox had chosen Liam as his the day that baby came home, and when a real threat walked into their lives wearing a friendly smile, the dog everyone called dangerous was the only one who refused to be fooled. Today, Liam is 2 years old, happy and safe, and he still falls asleep most nights with his hand buried in the fur of a 90-pound Doberman who has never once let him down. Knox still greets the mail carrier like a best friend. He is still the gentlest dog in the neighborhood, but Erin knows now that underneath all that sweetness is a guardian who was watching threats she could not even see. If you were ever thinking about adopting a big dog, especially a breed the world has decided to be afraid of, please do not let the fear win. The dog everyone crosses the street to avoid is so often the one who would put his own body between your child and the worst thing in the world, without a second of hesitation. Because Aaron and Scott did not just give Knox a home, that dog gave their son his life. So let me ask you honestly, if your dog suddenly growled at someone everyone else said was friendly, would you trust your dog or would you trust the smiling stranger? Tell me in the comments. And if a dog ever protected someone you love, say their name below so the world remembers what these dogs are really worth.